All right, we are just one day away from the final signing day of the 2022 class. The Bulldogs are looking to bring in one of the nation's top recruiting classes. Not going to get the number one spot, but this is a solid number three type of class in the country. Lots of young talent coming in, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They have 24 signees, room for a few more. 18 of those 24 are already on campus as early enrollees. So there's still a few guys out there. There are 3 commitments. I think one of them, 4-star running back Jordan James, is going to flip to Oregon and sign with them tomorrow. But the other 2, wide receiver Dylan Bell out of Houston and Darius Smith, an outside linebacker pass rushing specialist from Appling County down in Baxley in South Georgia. I think he is going to sign with Georgia as well. So that makes 26. And there are some prospects still out there that are going to be making their decisions tomorrow, and that's what this video is all about. So who are the guys who could commit and sign with Georgia tomorrow? Let's break that down right now. The first guy I want to talk about is Shamar Stewart, 6'6", about 265, defensive end, pass rusher, one of the top defenders in the entire country, is coming off his official visit to Georgia 2 weeks ago. He was at Miami last weekend. He's from Florida, but I do think that he's going to leave the state and sign with Texas A&M, the team that already has the number one recruiting class in the country. They're getting just about everyone they want, and I think Shamar Stewart is a guy who's been trending their way for some time now. I think Georgia still might have a small shot here, but in the end, I think he is going to Texas A&M. But a guy who I do think that they're going to land is 4-star Kristen Miller from Cedar Grove in the Atlanta area. A guy I've seen multiple times. I've been covering him for years. Big time player, 6'4", close to 300 pounds. He can really get off the football and get into the backfield in a hurry. He is so quick for his size. He's a leader. He makes a lot of plays, and the guy just lives in the backfield. I saw him terrorize Wesleyan earlier this year, and of course, he's not going to be going up against those type of guys in the SEC, but I do think that he is going to be an impact player, maybe not his first year, but down the road at some point in his career. And I think he's going to choose Georgia and sign with them at noon tomorrow over Ohio State, Miami, Florida A&M, a team that he also visited recently. So big news there, because I do think that he is one of the top defensive line prospects in the South, definitely in the state. He's a solid 4-star prospect, close to that 100 range in the country type of deal. And another guy who's going to bring some quickness and some strength to the interior of Georgia's defensive line. He's a guy who can get after the passer, but he stuffs the run too, and he knows what he's doing, and he really gets after the quarterback and moves really well. So he's a guy I've seen for a while now. If you're on Dog Post, you kind of saw this coming for a while now, and I do expect him to sign with Georgia tomorrow. Another guy that I want to talk about is E.J. Lightsey, 6'2", 210-pound linebacker from Fitzgerald High School. Just won them a state championship down there, a Florida decommitment. He committed to them, I believe, in the fall, and then decommitted, opened up his recruitment in early December. He took an official visit to Georgia 2 weekends ago, was at South Carolina this past weekend. But this is a guy who has some link to him, can run, can hit. He will pick you off the ground and slam you down. Another guy who can, get sideline to sideline, could play middle linebacker, could play outside linebacker. Now, they did not get, of course, Shamar James during the early signing period. He ended up choosing Florida over Georgia. And I think if he were to have chosen Georgia, that E.J. Lightsey would probably not be in this class. But I do think they want to take another linebacker. There's a reason they went after Shamar James at the last minute. There's a reason Glenn Schumann picked up his efforts to recruit E.J. Lightsey towards the end here. And I think that they will accept his commitment, and he will sign with Georgia tomorrow. So another athletic linebacker who can run and really hit. He's a kind of a South Georgia kid, really tough, knows the game of football, and I think this is a pretty solid addition. Don't look at his ranking and take that solely about what he can do. He's kind of a low 3-star right now, but he made a lot of plays as a senior and led his team to a state championship. There's a reason Georgia's accepting his commitment, because they think that he's going to be turned into a pretty good player. So I do think that Georgia is going to land E.J. Lightsey and Kristen Miller tomorrow. Like I mentioned earlier, Jordan James at Oregon, I think that's where he's going to end up. So, kind of a down year overall for running backs nationally. So they got a good one, a guy they really, really wanted in Branson Robinson. Jordan James is a solid back, solid 4-star guy. I've always wondered, yeah, he's good, but is he Georgia good? Is he a guy who you can give the ball to in hopes of winning a national championship or an SEC championship? Is he that type of guy? And I'm still not really sure. I think this is a guy who should do really well out in Oregon. Guys, he's a talented dude who has a great spin move. That's that's something that I've heard about from a long time now. But it just seemed like Georgia kind of stopped recruiting him a little bit. I think Del McGee went to go see him in early December for an in-home visit, but ever since then, it just does not feel like there's been a lot of traction with Georgia and Jordan James, 4-star, who's been committed for quite a while now. So another guy, a running back to know though, is Andrew Paul. He was in Athens this past weekend. If they want to take a second running back, they don't have to. I think they should be taking 2 every year. They didn't really take one in the 21 class. Lavassier Carroll, they immediately switched to defensive back. He's now transferred to South Carolina, so they didn't take one in last class. They just took 1, maybe 2 in Branson Robinson and possibly Andrew Paul. It's going to be down to Georgia and Clemson, I think. I think going into the visit, I thought Georgia had a really good chance of landing him and still think they could, but a lot of Clemson insiders, people I knew who cover Clemson, I feel like the Tigers are the team that has been recruiting him the longest. They offered a while back where Georgia recently offered to push for him, and I just think that there's a lot of Clemson momentum right now. And again, things could change. I'm making this video Tuesday at, right before lunch. So in these last 12, 24 hours, things can definitely change. But I'm leaning towards more Clemson right now for Andrew Paul than I was maybe 24 hours ago and over the weekend. So kind of weird that they would have him on campus for an official visit and then say, actually, we're going to take one. But maybe he does have a spot in this class. So that's something that I'm still kind of digging on and trying to figure out, for tomorrow. But I do think it's going to be Georgia or Clemson right now. It feels like Clemson kind of has the momentum. That's, just what I'm hearing the most right now. But this one could go either way, and this is something that I'm going to be working the phones with for the latest information, until he makes a decision. So 5'11", 220 pounds, can run. I don't know how explosive he is, but he breaks a lot of tackles, changes direction well, and he's a 3-star kid that Georgia did offer late and push for. So we'll see if Clemson, having recruited him for a longer period of time, is going to win out here. So those are really the 5 guys that I think we need to keep it. Georgia fans need to keep an eye on. Again, I think they're going to sign the 2 commitments that they already have. They have 18 on campus right now. I believe another 6 that have signed but did not enroll early. 2 commitments that will sign. And then, right now I'm thinking just 2, maybe new commitment signees tomorrow, being Kristen Miller and EJ Lightsey, 2 guys on the defensive side of the football. So, again, things will change. The more I hear, the more updates I will have on Dog Post. So make sure you're over on Dog Post, checking out the latest of what could happen. Signing day is something that always seems to go a little off the rails at times. There's never been a quiet, calm signing day that where everything happens that we expect. So there could definitely be a surprise or 2 that happens. We're going to be trying to find the latest for y'all. So head over to Dog Post for the latest. Really appreciate y'all watching this video. We will have much more on signing day, wrapping up Georgia's 2022 class, one of the best in the entire country. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I'll see you over on the website.